My name is Clara Towson, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
I am Francisca George, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Susan Leemans, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom. Yeah.
My name is Zainab Sammaz, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hey guys, my name is Sasha Vickery, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hi, my name is Lloyd Harris, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Jaime Faria, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Yes.
Take one. Well done.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Paulini, and I'm a friend of the show.
Wow, Jasmine, you got it in one time.
Ready? Play.
It is a Cincy Semi Sunday in the Queen City of Cincinnati, Ohio, as two top-class players aim for their first ever trip to the Cincinnati final. Reigning Wimbledon champion Iga Swiatek takes on former Wimbledon champion Elena Rybakina in the first semifinal on a hot 86-degree Sunday afternoon in Cincinnati. Hello, one and all. I'm Matthew Owens. Welcome to Cincinnati. Thanks for having us in for the match, a match that we have high hopes for between these two Grand Slam champions, Iga Swiatek and Elena Rybakina, squaring off for the 10th time all-time and for the 4th time this year. It should be a tremendous match, hoping for a cracker here to start this semifinal card for this WTA 1000 event in Cincinnati, Jasmine Paolini in the second semifinal, along with Veronika Kudermetova later in the day. But this is certainly a matchup that everyone has wanted to see. You have two former Grand Slam champions, of course, here, two top-class players with great games squaring off, and two resurgent players in Paolini and Kudermetova in the second semifinal to come. Great for these two to be in this position. As I mentioned, neither has ever made the final here in Cincinnati. One of them will do that here, and what a wild ride it has been to get to this point in Cincinnati for Elena Rybakina. Particularly, she has had to go 3 sets 3 times so far in this tournament. In each of her first 3 matches, in fact, she had to go 3. Coming from behind in all of them, losing the first set in all 3 of those matches against Sarasua, Mertens, and Madison Keys. Coming back to win sets 2 and 3 in each. And then, here on Friday, a straight set win over Aryna Sabalenka, the world's #1 player. That's how Rybakina has gotten to this Cincinnati semifinal. For Iga Swiatek, she has been in top form since Wimbledon, of course. She has not dropped a set here in Cincinnati. In fact, she's won 20 of the last 22 sets that she has played. The only 2 sets in that span that she has lost came to Clara Towson in that straight set loss in Canada. And it is Swiatek who will serve first as we get underway in this much-anticipated semi-final bout. Swiatek in the far court. First serve claps the net. Sun is out. As mentioned, it is mid-80s here today. It could be much hotter than that here in the Midwest in the summer. Second serve kicked in. Rybakina attacks the return, and Swiatek misses long on the ground stroke as Rybakina gets the first point. Fans are being waved by the fans in the seats here. And we'll see how the conditions affect the two players today, particularly Rybakina with more mileage on the car so far this week, as we talked about going 3 sets 3 times. Good serve here from Swiatek. Rybakina misses the return wide. It's 15-all. In fact, Swiatek, not only has she not dropped a set, in her second round match, did not have to play against Marta Kostyuk, who had to pull out as Swiatek serves out wide. Great serve as Rybakina whips the return and misses long. So certainly in what has been a hot handful of days here, less time on the court for Swiatek by quite a margin versus Rybakina. Swiatek at 30-15. Catches the ball toss and will recoil and serve again. Does so up the tee. Rybakina blocks back a short return. Off forehand, Swiatek rips it down the line and hits the winner for 40-15. 9 prior matches between these two, and Swiatek holds a tenuous lead in the all-time head-to-head. She's won 5 to Rybakina's 4 in those prior 9, as Swiatek at 40-15, serves to the backhand of Rybakina, short return. Swiatek goes cross-court with the forehand, up with a lob, Rybakina. Swiatek lets it drop inside the service area and pounds away the overhead winner. And that's the way this one gets started. Swiatek holds serve as we are underway in this Cincinnati semifinal. Tremendous to be with you here on this Sunday here in the Queen City. And be sure to stay in the comment section throughout the match, and if you haven't already, like and subscribe here to Talking Tennis, as Rybakina is set to serve for the first time. Coming off perhaps her best win of the season. I'm not even sure if perhaps you need to put that qualifier in. It was her best win of the season. 6-1 and 6-4 over Aryna Sabalenka here on Friday. The only match, as we've mentioned, that she has not had to go 3 sets here. She got a bye in the first round. She's played just the 4 matches, and 3 of the 4 against seeded players in Mertens, Keys, and Sabalenka. Seat still filling up here as we are one game into this semifinal. Rybakina now at the far end. High ball toss, serve down is big. Backhand return from Swiatek. Forehand Rybakina up the middle. Sharply hit by Swiatek. Steered cross-court by Rybakina. Into the longest rally so far, which is quickly ended by a cross-court backhand winner from Rybakina. As we talked about, 3 times they played this year, Swiatek has won all 3 of those 2025 matches between these two. As Rybakina serves here. Forehand reply, Swiatek, sharp angle. Shoveled back by Rybakina. Forehand loops to the baseline by Swiatek. Cross-court the forehand Rybakina. Steered on back by Swiatek. And Rybakina unloads. Cross-court forehand winner into the deuce scored. It's 30-love. Yeah, yes, very, very glad that we enjoyed the alliteration on the Cincy Semi Sunday. Rybakina at 30-love. Serves out wide. Good angle on it. Swiatek shovels it back. Off forehand winner ripped by Rybakina. And she is certainly not lacking for horsepower on the ground strokes early. 40-love. Rybakina with the white visor. Teal top with the black skirt. As she goes out wide on the serve, Swiatek gets it back. Forehand is lifted into the net by Rybakina 40-15. In fact, the kit really goes well with the blue court here in Cincinnati. That contrasts quite nicely with the blue sky overhead here in the Queen City. Huge Major League Baseball series going on in Cincinnati this weekend with the hometown Reds taking on the Milwaukee Brewers, who have been the best team in baseball for a good while the last few weeks. As Rybakina hits a kick serve out wide, it's an ace, and she holds to start her Cincinnati semifinal. 1-1. Rybakina in a semifinal in her 3rd straight tournament. Made it to that point in Washington and Montreal as well. Did have a match point against Mboko in Montreal. Of course, Mboko not only saving that match point, but going on to take just a tremendous title for the young Canadian. Serve out wide, Swiatek. Rybakina makes the return. Steered back with the backhand. Cross-court a winner by Swiatek, 15-love. Sport and Politics with us in the comments. Says hi to everyone. Says, I think we'll get 3 sets today. Certainly would not turn that down for sure if we could get 3 sets between these two. Swiatek up the middle of the serve. Rybakina gets it back short. Forehand up the line, Swiatek. Blocked back defensively by Rybakina. And Swiatek tries to go back door with the off forehand into the ad court corner, but misses it. And it's 15-all. 3 of the prior 9 meetings between these two have gone 3 sets. They have all, generally speaking, been tight matches between these two, but not always going 3. Play tight sets for sure. Swiatek, good serve up the tee, and that's an ace. Do recall being on this channel getting close to 2 full years ago when these two played, I believe it was Doha, and a tremendous first set that went deep into a first set tiebreak. Just to piggyback off of these two, do play extremely tight sets, and a tight 3-setter when they played on the clay at Roland Garros earlier this year. Swiatek won 7-5 in the 3rd, came from behind to win that. She's missed the first serve here. Here comes her 2nd out wide, and she's missed that as well. So it's 30-all. Rybakina won the first set of that match in the 4th round in Paris this year. 6-1. Swiatek roared back to win the last 2, 6-3 and 7-5. 30-all here. Rybakina's in this return game. Swiatek serves out wide. Rybakina whips the return back, but Swiatek's got the open court and uses it to perfection with a forehand winner laced up the line to get to a game point at 40-30. In fact, if you look at these two going head-to-head, the last 6 matches they have played have either included a set that went to a tiebreak or a set that went to 7-5. Serve to the forehand of Rybakina. Good depth on the return. Swiatek defends it back. Rybakina creeps to the net, hits a volley, but it's into the net, and Swiatek holds for 2-1. So good serving start for both, as Rybakina and Swiatek search for a trip to the Cincinnati final. As mentioned, a place where neither player has gone here in Cincinnati. We do have the poll up. You can let your voice be heard. Who do you think is going to win this match, Swiatek or Rybakina? 62 votes are reporting, and it is Swiatek. 61% of you believe Swiatek is going to take this match over Rybakina. I would tend to agree, just from the points that we've already touched on. Less mileage on the vehicle so far in this tournament for Iga, and the fact that she has won all 3 that these two have played this year. And again, just the run of form that Swiatek has been on has been tremendous. As I mentioned earlier, she's won 20 of the last 22 sets that she has played. Only a straight set loss to Clara Towson in that span are the only sets dropped between the two. So we are well underway here in this Cincinnati semifinal. What a tremendous contrast of the two semis when you think of these two big hitters and big-time top-class players, former Slam champions, and then on the other end, Jasmine Paolini and Veronika Kudermetova in the second semifinal. You're going to have a great contrast of styles and stories, no matter who wins each match in the final. Rybakina, who has certainly had a season that has not been, I think she would tell you, up to her standards. Many would say the same as she serves here up the tee and lashes an ace to start this 4th game. Mentioned her 3rd straight semifinal, but did lose the semifinal in Washington to Leylah Fernandez in a match that went 3 sets and 3 tiebreaks. Rybakina goes out wide on this serve. She's absolutely ripped that one. Swiatek's return, hanging in the air, finally drops short of the net. It's 30-love. And then, of course, the semifinal loss to Mboko in Montreal. What was that, about 10 days ago, 11 days ago? And that also came in a 3rd set tiebreak. 30-love serve, Rybakina out wide, and Swiatek that keeps kicking away from her, can't get to it, and Rybakina with tremendous serving gets to 40-love. And speaking of Clara Towson beating Rybakina, or beating Swiatek in Montreal, she beat Rybakina, did Towson at Wimbledon. Rybakina, good serve. Swiatek makes the return. Rybakina confidently steps in to a forehand winner that she sweeps cross court, holds to love very quickly. Not even sure that service game lasted 60 seconds. We're at 2-all. In fact, for the, if you want to call it, struggling Rybakina, she has not made a final since May. Did that in Strasbourg when she defeated Samsonova in the final there. Swiatek serves. Awkward backhand return by Rybakina, and Swiatek pounces on a short softball and hits a winner, striking it cross court. Swiatek in the far court. Toss up, serve down into the net from the number 3 seed. Each player has won just 1 return point to start. Swiatek serves here out wide. Rybakina's return on the backhand misses long. Swiatek has won 10 out of 11 points on serve. Rybakina's 8 of 9. $30 love here for Swiatek. Goes up the tee, blocked back on the return into the net by Rybakina. In fact, that Strasbourg title that she got in May for Rybakina is the only final that she has been to this year. 40 love for Swiatek, serving and catching the ball toss. On the other end, Iga has just been in tremendous form, as we've talked about, as that serve out wide lands for an ace, and that's a hold at love for Swiatek, returning it right back after Rybakina's hold at love, and we're at 3-2 on serve to start. Swiatek, as you well know, getting the Wimbledon crown for the first time, a tour de force in the final against Amanda Anisimova, had made the final in Bad Homburg, but just before Wimbledon, losing to Jessica Pegula. But she has been extremely sharp since catching her stride on the grass at Wimbledon, has the former world number one. As the final whistle has blown on Manchester United's opener. Great start to the season, guys. As Arsenal has won that one 1-0. I have not been able to watch much of it. Do not know much of the context from it, but do see it up here that Arsenal has won. That's great. What else did we expect, though? United on their way to a 14th place finish this season in the league. To fight relegation. Be sure to stay in the comments here. I'm very surprised. I'm the one that normally has to stay on myself to stay in the comments. I'm very surprised to not have a bunch already having come in, as Rybakina set to serve here. 6th game of this opening set, where the server has been dominant so far. Rybakina serves out wide and hits an ace. It's just pinpoint serving right now from both of these players. We've only had 5 points that have gone over 5 shots in the rally. Rybakina serves up the tee and misses. There's a comment. Why do you support United? That's a great question. That's a cracking question that I wish I could answer right now. Rybakina, second serve into the deep backhand of Swiatek. Up the middle goes Rybakina. Swiatek off the let cord to the forehand of Rybakina. Cross court goes Swiatek. Rybakina steers it back deep into a long rally here. Off forehand Swiatek. It's a slice backhand from Rybakina that Swiatek digs out. Cross court the backhand Rybakina, and Swiatek finally is into the net on the backhand. Yes, so being that I do live stateside, I have zero, geographical tie to any of the European clubs. When I first discovered football, as I'm sure most of you in the comments probably call it, as Swiatek serve out wide, cannot be returned by Swiatek. It's 40 love. When I first discovered the Premier League here stateside, it was on ESPN, which it isn't any longer, and just about every match that they showed was Manchester United. So I just became a United fan, and that was in the Sir Alex Ferguson days when they were actually good. So it was very easy to root for them. It's not these days, as Rybakina misses the first serve into the net. Goes out wide here. Swiatek makes a great cross-court return. Great backhand up the line. Rybakina. Swiatek somehow defends it back with great elasticity as the rally continues. Forehand cross-court Swiatek, and up the line and missing is Rybakina, and it's 40-15. I don't know how Swiatek stayed in the point as long as she did. Are you a Spurs fan? I would not wish being a Spurs fan on much of anyone. I know here the last decade I have no room to talk as a United fan, but bless them, Spurs lost another trophy in ridiculous fashion last week. Here's the serve up the tee. Rybakina, it's big. The return from Swiatek could have been fair caught if we were playing a different sport here in Cincinnati. And now into a rally. Rybakina could not put that overhead away, and she ends up missing the forehand long. No, not a Spurs fan. No. Very good. (40-30). It's the first time Swiatek has won 2 points in a return game. Serve out wide by Rybakina. Swiatek makes that return. Big backhand by Rybakina. Swiatek defends it back. Cross-court Rybakina. Swiatek again gets it back somehow. Now she's neutralized the point here. Up the middle of the forehand, Swiatek. Forehand by Rybakina up the gut. Now Rybakina goes with the backhand. Steered back by Swiatek, but it's long. And Rybakina holds to get to 3-all. So we're at 3 games all here in this opening set. In Cincinnati, one of the longest running tennis tournaments in the United States. Of course, not consecutively. There were 2 long spells even, where this event was not held. But the first time that we had a Cincinnati Tennis Open was all the way back in 1899. As here's Swiatek at the near end, serving at 3 games all. Serves out wide. Rybakina makes the return. Looping backhand, drops just on the line. Swiatek, but Rybakina gallops to it and then torches a backhand up the line that Swiatek can't get back, and it's love 15. Yeah, absolutely no break points to this point, as we're in the middle stages of this first set. As we talked about, the last 6 matches that these two have played have included at least one set that either went to a tiebreak or ended 7-5. Swiatek's first serve here is in the net. Set to serve again here. Rybakina stands right where she was on the first serve. Does not move up to take this second. Swiatek puts it in deep. Sharp angle on the backhand return by Rybakina. And Swiatek throws her entire body into the backhand. And she flies it long. And Rybakina has a look at love 30. And perhaps we will see our first break point of the match, as Rybakina has a bit of an opening here at the 21-minute mark. Here's Swiatek. Toss up, serve is down, and misses long by a lot. The dark blue of the inner court, the light, vibrant blue of the outer court here in Cincinnati, with blue barriers behind the tram lines. Here's Swiatek's second serve. Oh, and that goes ricocheting off the let cord and flies long. It's a double fault from Swiatek, and here are the first break points of this semifinal. It's Rybakina at love 40. So a chance for Rybakina to take the first advantage of the day. Serve clock at single figures here on Swiatek, who serves at love 40 up the tee. Rybakina makes the return. Swiatek with the backhand up the line. Rybakina gets it back deep. Swiatek with a short ball. What can Rybakina do with it? Cross-court backhand. Swiatek defends it back. Trying to go backdoor with the backhand was Rybakina, but Swiatek was there, and she hits a backhand up the line, which is a clean winner. It's 15-40. 1 break point saved. 2 more to do here for Iga, who slid into that defensive backhand almost as if we were back on the red clay in Paris, where these two played earlier this year. She saved one break point. Still an uphill climb here to go at 15-40. Here's the serve out wide. Rybakina ropes the return. Backhand up the middle. Rybakina gets it back. Cross court the forehand. Swiatek. Rybakina backdoor winner with the forehand, and there's the first break of the match. And Elena Rybakina takes the lead in this Cincinnati semifinal. She breaks for a 4-3 edge. Played a tremendous return game there, and a great forehand winner to strike the match's first break. Sport and Politics says, I voted Swiatek in the poll, but not with any conviction. Thinks it's a coin toss, this match here. So Rybakina, who has fallen behind 3 times in this tournament, trying not to fall behind here in this semifinal against a tremendous front runner that is Iga Swiatek. Will serve up a break at 4-3. U.S. Open is, of course, right around the corner, but before everyone heads to New York, we've got WTA action this week in Monterrey, in Mexico, and Cleveland, Ohio, another Ohio tournament. That's a 250 event for the WTA. And, of course, the men have a 250 event in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. That coming up this week. And then, of course, leads into the U.S. Open in New York, which is coming right up. The final, if you can possibly believe it, the final slam of the year. And if you want all of the build-up and all of the action and all of the coverage and all of the reporting, make sure to hit the subscribe button here on this channel. It is the best channel that you'll find on YouTube in commitment level to this sport. I use it quite a lot to catch up on all the tennis that I miss. And I do miss a lot of tennis live. So anytime I need to catch up, this channel that I go to, always enjoy getting the invitation to come on for some of these watch-alongs. Glad to be here for this one. Rybakina with an ace to get to 15 love as she tries to consolidate the break. Jane is here with us, and thank you for the contribution. Great to have you with us here as Rybakina serves. Swiatek makes the return into a rally. It doesn't last long, however. Swiatek with a backhand error into the net. It's 30 love. Great to have you with us, Jane, as always. Rybakina serves. Misses that long. Have you ever been to Cincinnati? I have not. Now, interestingly enough, Cincinnati would not be a terribly long drive for me, all things considered. Here's the serve to the forehand of Swiatek. Up the middle goes Rybakina, shoveled on out by Swiatek, and the backhand by Rybakina is into the net. It's 30-15. If I were guessing, it'd be like an 8-hour drive. I don't know that for sure. It wouldn't be, an impossible drive, but would love to go. I am a supporter of the Cincinnati Reds. I'm a Cincinnati Reds fan, which, like Manchester United of late, I don't know why, because they have just been so terrible for so long. But would love to go someday, as Rybakina misses the serve out wide here. Second serve at 30-15. Rybakina puts that in, attacking it with the cross-court backhand Swiatek, and she goes with another one cross-court to Swiatek, but misses as it drifts just wide, and Rybakina, looking to consolidate the first break of the match, has 40-15 and points for 5-3. But definitely would love to go to Cincinnati to see a baseball game at Great American Ballpark, and to watch some tennis as well in the summer leading up to the U.S. Open. 40-15 here for Rybakina, who missed the first serve. Here comes her second. Up the tee, puts it into the backhand of Swiatek, and then that backhand was awkwardly hit cross-court by Rybakina and goes wide. Jane says glutton for punishment. Indeed. Oakland Athletics fan here, says Jane. So, in fact, the last time the Reds were worth anything, the 1990 World Series, where they beat the Athletics. Rybakina serve out wide, misses. Oh, no, caught the line, did it? And that's an ace for Rybakina, and she does consolidate the break and holds for 5-3. So Rybakina with another ace, and she's one game away from taking this first set. And I do enjoy, Jane, and I do like you for still calling them the Oakland Athletics. I can't imagine anyone will ever call them anything different. But yes, Athletics have had good spells since 1990. The Reds have not. The Reds have not won a playoff series since 1995. As here's Swiatek with a serve up the tee, blocked back and floating long from Rybakina. Swiatek serving to stay in this first set. Yes, you're very welcome for the reminder. I have to remind myself because if I don't, you get the feeling the Reds haven't done anything for ages. So, Rybakina makes the return into a rally. Oh, big backhand up the line. Rybakina, Swiatek spills out, trying to defend it back. Forehand into the net. Swiatek gets back to her feet. It's 15 all. Yeah, that was a big upset when the Reds swept the A's in 1990. Jose Rio was the MVP of that World Series, getting 2 wins, outlasting Dave Stewart in Game 1. Billy Hatcher had a big series. As the serve out wide misses here from Swiatek. Eric Davis with a home run in the first inning of Game 1. Now I would say reliving the past, but I didn't live it the first time. That was 7 years before I was born. As Swiatek kicks this serve up the tee and it misses. It's a double fault, second of the set here for Swiatek, and Rybakina a third of the set rather for Swiatek, beg your pardon. And Rybakina has 15-30. Jane also says going to U.S. Open qualies on Wednesday. Very good. Here's Swiatek serving up the tee. Rybakina makes the return. Big backhand by Swiatek. Up the middle goes Rybakina. Cross-court backhand Swiatek. Defended back by Rybakina. Cross-court the forehand Swiatek. Rybakina goes right back cross-court with the forehand. Now a looping forehand Rybakina. Swiatek eats it up. Slice back defensively by Rybakina. Swiatek doesn't do a lot with it. And Rybakina had a sliver of space to put that forehand cross-court to strike a winner, but she's missed it long. Tremendous rally there, perhaps the best we've seen of the set, and it's 30 all. That was really good ball striking from both players there. Wow, I've just seen that United outshot Arsenal 22-9 and failed to win. Failed to get a result. My God. Swiatek at 30 all. Serves up the tee. That's an ace as Iga powers up to get to 40-30. Trying to stay in this set here with a game point is Swiatek. Stops the service motion. Now she'll start again with 3 dribbles of the ball. Here she goes. Tight grip on the racket with the right hand. Toss up with the left hand. Serve is down. Forehand reply is wide from Rybakina. Swiatek holds to stay in the set at 5-4. And Rybakina will serve for the set after the change of ends. Jane says, I was lucky enough to have lived in Oakland when we had Ellis on second, Tejada at short, Eric Chavez catching, like Barry Zito, along with Hudson and Mulder pitching. Those were the days. Barry Zito. Wow. Reds are in a playoff push here this summer, but has had the misfortune of playing the Milwaukee Brewers here this weekend, where the Brewers have just been white hot. I mean, good gracious, no one can beat the Brewers right now. They've won, 14 games in a row. Friday, they won 10-8. Yesterday, they won 6-5 and 11. And they've just started their match, or their game here today. The Reds have not been swept all year. They have to win today to keep from being swept. They are a game and a half out of the Mets for the final wild card spot in the National League. So, yes, here's hoping that the Reds can get a win today, and we could get some help from Seattle tonight to beat the Mets. Here's hoping. The Mets have not been good of late. They have really been struggling here lately, the Mets. And, of course, baseball, the talk about the sport every single year is the teams that have just a load of money like the Mets and the teams that don't have hardly any money like the Reds. Quite honestly, the Reds should not be competing with the Mets for a playoff spot because the payrolls are so vastly different. But that's why you play the games. Anyway, enough baseball talk. Elena Rybakina is serving for this first set here in this Cincinnati semifinal. 5-4. As she serves out wide and pounds out an ace, does she? Or was it called a let? Think it might have been. So here she goes again, Rybakina. Serves this time up the middle. And another let. Tries one more time. Puts this one into the forehand of Swiatek. And then a great backhand cross court by Rybakina is a winner. Great 1-2 punch right there from the Wimbledon champion from a couple of years ago. 15-love. Serves here out wide. Backhand return Swiatek. Forehand is looped long from Rybakina. She had the line to work with there, but couldn't keep it inside the baseline. It's 15-all. Let's see, sport and politics. I've never been to Cincy. Seems super hot. The Midwest this time of year, it's crazy hot. I think the entire country this time of year is crazy hot. Rybakina with a good first serve. Swiatek makes the return, starts the rally. Rybakina rips a forehand. Swiatek gives one of her own back to her, and Rybakina's forehand is into the net. And Swiatek at 15-30. This is the best position she has been in a return game so far in this set. I long for October to hurry up and get here. Be in the 50s and 60s again. Here's Rybakina at 15-30. Serves into the bottom of the net. Here comes the second serve. Out wide, backhand return, Swiatek cross court, up the middle, Rybakina. Swiatek stumbles, hitting a cross court backhand. Gets back to her feet in time to hit a backhand winner up the line, and Iga Swiatek has 2 break points to get back on serve. She did stagger along when she hit that cross-court backhand. Didn't completely spin her wheels, though. And was able to regather and hit that backhand winner straight as an arrow up the line. Now here she is. 2 break points to get to 5-all. Rybakina makes the first serve. Swiatek gets the return back. Rally up the middle. Now a cross-court forehand. Rybakina defended back by Swiatek. Rybakina off forehand. Misses it. And Swiatek breaks back and gets us back on serve. It's 5-all in the first. Tremendous game from Swiatek when she needed it. She had not been anywhere close to getting into a Rybakina serve game to this point before that. And she played that return game extremely well. So we're at 5-all. This will be the 7th straight match these two have played, which will have a set either go to a tiebreak or end 7-5. Swiatek serves. Backhand reply, Rybakina. Down low to hit the forehand, Swiatek. Cross-court, Rybakina. Swiatek with the forehand, and Rybakina cracks a forehand into the net. It's 15-love. Now, what a return game by Iga. needed it and got it. She knows how to turn it on when she needs to. She has that just great instinct and ability to play big points in big games better than most. Here she is on the serve. Rybakina able to make the return. Swiatek's forehand here flutters long, 15 all. So now here we are all square again. Swiatek at the near end. Toss up, serve down, out wide. Rybakina big on the return. Forehand up the middle, Swiatek. And then Rybakina goes long up the middle, and it's 30-15. Looked like she was in control of that point. Makes the error from the baseline, however. 38 minutes into this set and nothing between them. Swiatek serves, misses wide. Here comes the second now. And Iga catches the ball toss. Starts again. Falls into the service motion. It's out wide. Rybakina rips a cross-court return into a rally here. Oh, and Swiatek has mishit that backhand, trying to guide it up the line. Misses wide. It's 5 all, 30 all. And some early pressure points about to be played by these two. John mentions if Iga does win this tournament, she'll be back to number 2 in the world, seated ahead of Coco Gauff for the U.S. Open. As that's a great serve out wide by Swiatek that Rybakina can't get contact on. It's 40-30. And a point for 6-5 now for Swiatek, who has muscled her way back into this first set. Again, has to catch the ball toss. Now serves. Forehand return is nowhere close from Rybakina. It's into the very bottom of the net. Swiatek holds for 6-5, and now it is Swiatek who's a game away from taking this opening stanza. Rybakina will serve to stay in. And of course, for Rybakina, certainly not new to falling behind here in Cincinnati, but would prefer to not do it again. Good stuff here in this first set. We did anticipate a very competitive match, and we are getting it at this moment in time for sure. So let's see if Rybakina is able to stay in this set and force a tiebreak, or will it be Swiatek breaking to grab the opener? And it's Veronika Kudermetova and Jasmine Paolini who will scrap in the second semifinal. Can someone explain to me, someone that's much more in the know than I am, can someone explain to me why we have had weekday finals now for Cincinnati and Toronto and Montreal, and this kooky scheduling? Why have we gone to that point? Because I have to say, I'm not a huge fan. I'm really just not a huge fan of it. The Sunday should be the day of the finals, or Saturday. Obviously, Winston-Salem and I'm assuming Cleveland will have Saturday finals because of the upcoming New York U.S. Open, but I don't quite get it. Here's Rybakina serving to force a tie break as some cloud cover is covered the sun overhead. Rybakina with the serve. Swiatek makes a good return. Rybakina with a backhand looping and landing just long. Love 15. Yeah, weekday finals. They just don't do it for me. Rybakina serves. Swiatek makes the return. Backing up in the middle, Rybakina up the line, the backhand. Swiatek staggered back by Rybakina on defense here. Swiatek turning the screws. Backhand cross court. Rybakina gets it back. Forehand up the line is a winner from Swiatek, and she has love 30. Well, like I said earlier, when she has needed to turn up her level of play, she has. Here at the business end of this first set, Iga Swiatek 2 points away from the set. Rybakina, who was serving so incredibly impressively earlier, dropped her serve in the last game. Now she's love 30 down here. Misses the first serve wide. Second is here to the forehand of Swiatek. Forehand cross-court Rybakina. Up the middle Swiatek. Forehand flat by Rybakina. Looped back Swiatek. Rybakina cross-court. It's a squash shot back by Swiatek. It's a beautiful drop shot from Rybakina, the first one she's hit all match. And it's a drop winner. 15-30. Yeah, Jane agrees that the new Masters format is hella stupid. Ingle says they need to restructure the finals. I just don't understand why you want weekday finals. I just don't know how that helps anybody. Locally, the attendance, or the viewership worldwide. As Rybakina hits the net here. 15-30, Rybakina serves up the tee. Swiatek blocks the return back short. Oh, Rybakina has made an absolute mess of that backhand. She stepped into it, tried to go off backhand into the deuce court. She's missed it wide. She had so much court to work with each way, but Iga applying the pressure, leading to a Rybakina error, the worst shot she's hit so far of the set, and now 2 set points for Iga Swiatek at 15-40. Here's Rybakina in the near court serving up the tee, misses. Now she faces set point on a second serve. Iga swaying back and forth on the baseline. Rybakina serves. Backhand reply by Swiatek deep. Cross-court backhand Rybakina. Big backhand cross-court Swiatek. And that seals the set. A come-from-behind first set win for Iga Swiatek, who was serving to stay in the set at one point. Climbs the ladder and takes the set 7-5. And she is now in control of this Cincinnati semifinal. As for the 4th time in this tournament, Elena Rybakina has dropped the opening set. Just step away momentarily. We'll return for set number 2.
Thanks for tuning into this watch along. While there's a break in play, here's a reminder to hit the like button, subscribe, and click that notification bell. Your support helps to keep the channel going. While we're here, you can now become a member to enjoy perks, including badges for the live chat, but also bonus material such as interviews with top players from both ATP and WTA tours. The membership link is pinned in the live chat. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. So whether it be serves or volleys, forehands or backhands, serve bots or drop shots, we've got you covered. Whether that be via our website, talking-tennis.com, where you can read features and interviews from our top writers. Or if you prefer us in audio form, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Amazon, or Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from. Remember, we offer you wall-to-wall coverage via our regular watch-alongs, magazine shows such as Nick's WTA Weekly or Damien and Mario's ATP version. Plus, we deliver top content from people on the ground, actually at the tournaments, so you get even nearer to the action. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Thrilling first set, and Iga Swiatek comes from behind to take the first set 7-5 in this Cincinnati semifinal over Elena Rybakina. Rybakina will be forced to come from behind again if she is to make just her second WTA final of the year. I know everyone joining in the comment section here towards the end of this opening set. Just going to catch up on the comments. I had to step away. Did have a dog that wanted in, so we have brought Duke in. Very good. And he is laid down right in front of me. Very good. Yes, but back to our conversation that we were having before the end of that set. The weekend is when people can watch matches live. I just can't imagine what the viewership was like in Europe or and beyond for Montreal and Toronto, and now coming up Cincinnati finals in weekdays. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And did I miss it? Is this a first year thing? Is this the first year we've done this, or have I missed it where we've been doing this for longer than it's just caught me off guard this year? I think I've noticed it. Just now noticing it this year, and I'm starting to wonder, like, was I missing it earlier? It's been happening for years. I do not know. But yes. Don't like it. Really, really just don't like it. Jake is here. Hello, Jake. Yeah, a bit toothless, but didn't think it was a bad performance when you look outside the keeper being the keeper. Talking about Manchester United. 22 shots they had. They outshot them, what was it, 22-9? 22-7? Something like that. They still found a way to lose. David Raya, I'm assuming, was in goal for Arsenal. Was it David Raya? Like I said, I wasn't able to keep up with much of the match, but yes, frustrating loss. Anyhow, we press on like a Lee nail. Let's see. Jake says, yep, read that Onana was fit to play but wasn't selected, but it doesn't make a difference. Pander is basically Onana from Turkey. Oh, Lord. Oh, it was Raya. Very good. Do I have an MLS team? Absolutely not. Now, okay, if Charlotte FC, being that is the home state here, if Charlotte FC, starts to, and they're a very new franchise in Major League Soccer, if they do start to win and compete for titles, and of course they have playoffs here, then, I will get behind supporting Charlotte FC. But I can't really find myself tuning in to MLS. It's just, the quality is not great. The quality is better in the second and third tiers in England and Italy and Spain than it is in Major League Soccer. And of course they don't play in the traditional, they don't play their season in the traditional soccer/football time. So anyway, it's hard to get into. At least for me it is, but to each their own. Swiatek, with both players now on the court, will serve to start the second set. Jake says he's a huge Portland Timbers fan. Yeah, and they have been around a while. They've been very successful. Has Portland. Swiatek's second serve. Rybakina makes the return. Looped back by Swiatek. Rybakina with a forehand up the middle. Swiatek speeds up the forehand. Defended back by Rybakina. And an off forehand winner from Swiatek. Gets us to 15-love. I think the other problem is, too, and I know You know how long I've been hearing? I mean, truly, do you know how long I've been hearing here in America for years upon years how, in 5 or 10 years, soccer is going to be the second most popular sport in America behind only American football? I've heard that for so long. They've been saying that's 5 years away for 20 years. As Swiatek misses the serve. Obviously, it is very popular over here, but at some point you're going to hit a peak here with Americans in that sport. You just are. Swiatek serves. Rybakina, deep return. Swiatek somehow defends it back. It's scooped on back by Rybakina, and then Swiatek has overcooked the backhand cross court. Misses long with it. Because nothing's ever going to hold a candle right now to American football. NFL and college football is just monopolizing sports fans, and the NBA is incredibly popular. Major League Baseball has dropped in popularity for a while, but it still has its popularity, even though it has dropped, as Swiatek hits an ace up the tee, her 5th. But yeah, here's the other thing about MLS that I'll say, and I'll end this conversation. As Swiatek serves up the tee, Rybakina makes the return, backpedaling forehand. Swiatek hits it deep, short ball by Rybakina, off forehand. Swiatek steered back cross court, but wide from Rybakina. Swiatek has 40-15. The other thing working against the MLS, like in today's world, anyone in America, we can sit here and we can watch any match we want with the Premier League on NBC, USA, or Peacock, if you want to pay for Peacock. And we can watch any match in the world we want from La Liga through ESPN Plus and Serie A and the French League. As Rybakina laces an ace up the tee and holds to start this second set. We can watch any match from any of the major leagues we want these days, if we're willing to pay for it. Because of that, if your goal is to watch the best clubs and the best players, no one is going to choose, I shouldn't say no one, rarely are you going to choose the New York Red Bulls or Sporting Kansas City or Austin FC, is that what they call that team in Austin? Over Real Madrid, Arsenal, Liverpool, PSG, so on and so forth. Inter Milan. So I think that is one of the many struggles that MLS has. One of the many battles that they are fighting. But they do get big players. Obviously, Messi is here. Son Heung-min coming to LAFC. But I mean, they do get superstars in MLS, but they're normally very late in their careers. As Rybakina is serving for the first time in this second set, she's missed the first. Swiatek has won 5 games in a row here, 5 on the trot for Iga, and the second serve is into the net from Rybakina, and it's a double fault. Love 15. Rybakina serves up the tee, misses. Come on. You're okay. You're okay. Rybakina makes this serve out wide. Swiatek unable to make the return into the net. You want to get on camera? You want to get on camera? You're awfully close. You're awfully close, yeah. Multitasking here, don't you know? Here's Rybakina serving. Backhand return from Swiatek, and Rybakina into the net. And it's love 30. We're just trying to get comfortable over here in the corner. He had laid down up here. Now we're just trying to get comfortable in the corner. You're okay. Love 30 here. Rybakina serves. Forehand return from Swiatek is long. And it's 15-30. Rybakina trying to stop the bleeding here. As mentioned, she's lost 5 games in a row after she was serving for the first set. Rybakina goes out wide on this serve. Swiatek makes the return. Big forehand cross court for Rybakina, and she hits the winner to get to 30 all. Serve here by Rybakina out wide and pounds out an ace. That was well timed. She really needed that. Gets to 40-30. Yeah, so I would bring him on camera. Big dog is Duke, German Shepherd Lab mix. So I can't just can't easily pick him up. And he is having some mobility issues. He's close to 10 years old now. So having some mobility issues, but we're working through it. Here's Swiatek with a backhand return. Rybakina with a backhand deep into a rally. Deep backhand there from Rybakina. Swiatek short ball back, drop shot Rybakina. Swiatek, wow, fires away at the body of Rybakina, and Rybakina just stabs the racket up above her head and hits a winning volley, and that's the way she holds serve for 1-all. Entertaining couple of strokes right there. But yeah, if he comes back over, I'll try to maneuver the camera as best I can. We've laid down for he goes through spells during the days where he can't quite get comfortable because of just some hip arthritis. The struggles of getting old, as we know. As Swiatek serving here at 1-all, close to the hour mark of this opening set. Sorry for getting distracted. I was mostly trying to make sure he didn't unplug the microphone. So I would go silent. As here's a backhand return into the net from Rybakina. Love 15. And now just catching up on the comments from that. Catching up on comments from that stretch. No, Ghosty is not here. Ghosty is in the comments for the first time, but no, he is not physically here. And no, I have not gone insane not talking to myself. Or maybe I am. I'm talking to you folks in the streaming world. But I suppose I'm also talking to myself. Swiatek serves up the tee. Rybakina whacks the return. And that landed wide, but I think it's a let on the serve. It is from Swiatek. Yes, nothing beats the love of a dog. Oh my goodness. Love my dogs, love my cats. Swiatek serves. Rybakina backhand return, and Swiatek knifes a backhand winner up the line to get to 30 love. Yes, a dog named Duke, a cat named Cameron, a guinea pig named Krzyzewski. That's very creative out of you, and I should have thought about that. I really should have thought about that. Swiatek serves. It's an ace out wide for 40 love. I've got a cat named Leo. I can neither confirm nor deny that's because of my love of Leo DiCaprio in Titanic. With Kate Winslet. 40 love. Swiatek serves. Forehand return is belted and long from Rybakina. Swiatek with a love hold for 2-1. Let's see. Just trying to catch up. Okay, so Jake says again, I just take MLS for what it is. Is the quality of the soccer great? Obviously not, but it's an exciting league because any team can beat anybody. It's unpredictable. That's very true. So, of course, in the big European leagues, the Premier League, La Liga, and so on, you have the haves and the have-nots. You have, 5 teams at most in those leagues, and that's being generous, that can win the title any given year. Yes, in MLS, that number is double digits, right? You're absolutely right about that. And there are really good atmospheres. That's what you can say about MLS now that you couldn't always say when it was, at its at its beginning is that these atmospheres are really good. There are mostly full stadiums for every game. The fans are into it. They've embraced it, and that's what you really like to see. And that's maybe what we should focus on more when it comes to MLS, is that the atmospheres are really good. You can go to a match in Portland, Seattle. From what I've heard from the people here, you can go to a match in Charlotte, and you can have that vibe, you can have that atmosphere like you are at the Emirates or Old Trafford. I won't say the Etihad because, that's a soulless place in Manchester that people aren't fans of. They just get on the bandwagon there. I apologize to no one for my comments. Let's see. Jake said, I'd give everything to have my boy Theo back. I'd love to see a pic of Duke one day. Yeah. So yeah, we lost Troy last year. We've lost a lot of dogs because we've had a lot of dogs, so we've lost a lot of dogs. We lost Troy last year. He was a good boy. He was a good boy. Bernese Mountain Dog. Lovely, lovely dogs. As Rybakina serving here at 1-2, and my feed froze up momentarily. She's serving already at 15 love. My apologies. And serving into the net. Kate could have hauled him up on the door. Why, Kate? Why? Thank you, Ghosty. Was there room on that door? Here's Rybakina with a serve out wide. A really good cross-court backhand return by Swiatek, and Rybakina's backing up the line. Misses, and it's 15 all. Jane heard Leo DiCaprio's name whispered on the wind and came running. Oh, dear. $15 here for Rybakina. Serves out wide. Swiatek somehow makes the return. Steered back by Rybakina with the backhand. Swiatek defends that back. And then she gets the error she's looking for from Rybakina as the backhand flies wide. And Swiatek is just defending at an elite level in this match. Really, really is. $15-30. Rybakina serves. He whacks that one wide and misses. Has to come from behind again. She's done that quite a bit here in this tournament. Second serve down to the backhand of Swiatek, which has been guided up the line, but it just lands wide, and it's 30 all. Swiatek frustrated with herself after that miss. You do get the feeling that Swiatek would like to take control of this match very quickly. She doesn't want to be out here in this heat longer than she has to be. Rybakina serve here off the let cord misses. Second serve from Rybakina wasn't the best ball toss. Puts it in, however, and the backhand return is long from Swiatek. And it's 40-30. Sevilla getting destroyed by Nico Williams, says Jake. Sevilla have it turned very Anna Samova Wimbledon performance. Oh no. Rybakina serves out wide. Swiatek flat return and the forehand into the net from Rybakina. I really hope that someday we don't remember Amanda Anisimova for the Wimbledon performance. My hope for her is that she can win a slam someday and put that behind her, and that's not all we think about when we think Amanda Anisimova. Serve here at deuce by Rybakina. Return was good by Swiatek. Rybakina forward up the line. Defended back Swiatek. Rybakina backpedaling. Forward up the line. Swiatek picks it up. Now a cross-court forehand. Rybakina well struck. Swiatek again defending it back. And Rybakina just keeps pounding away with the forehand. And finally, she's going to end the point on that forehand one way or the other. She's hoping it was a winner, and it is. Advantage Rybakina. I think, is this the first time we've been at deuce this entire match? I cannot recall being at deuce prior to this game, which is quite an achievement. Rybakina serves. Forehand reply, Swiatek deep, picked up by Rybakina and hammered up the line. Forehand winner for Swiatek. Yes, there we go. Talking tennis. Yeah, thank you, John. No deuces until now. That's what I thought. I had not recalled saying deuce. We're at deuce here for a second time in this game. Feels like a big game, doesn't it? Rybakina serves. Fought off on the return by Swiatek. Into the net goes Rybakina. And now Swiatek with a break point. Break opportunity for Swiatek. She already has a foot in the Cincinnati final. She's trying to put the second foot in here. Rybakina. Big serve out wide. Misses. And now faces a break point on a second serve. And a let on the second. Now serves out wide. Swiatek. Ooh. What happened here? What did they call there? I guess they called a let on that serve too, because that it looked like all the world it dropped in. Anyway. Carry on. Rybakina again. This one's into the backhand of Swiatek. Rybakina, big backhand up the middle. Swiatek gets it back, and that backhand goes well wide from Rybakina. Swiatek has the break. It's a set and a break for Iga Swiatek in this Cincinnati semifinal. She tightens her grip on this semifinal bout. This has been a tightly contested matchup between these two. As we've talked about this, they've met 9 times. Iga with a 5-4 edge, trying to take the 10th meeting between these two. And now up a break at 3-1. Yeah, Ghosty, Rybakina's backhand has really let her down basically since the middle portions of the first set. She's made some really bad errors on that side. Here's Swiatek looking to consolidate the break and build her lead, which, as you can see on your screen, is at 3-1 in the second. Misses the first serve into the net. Here comes the second serve from Swiatek, puts it into the backhand of Rybakina. Big backhand ripped. It's a winner for Swiatek. Jake says that we're lucky that he hasn't been on the jars. He'd be getting 1,000 Azarenka questions. See, we need to stop. We need to stop bringing up Azarenka or Sharapova or Radvanska on here, because it's turning into, every time I'm on, we start talking about 2010 to 2015 WTA. Swiatek serves and Rybakina misses the return into the net. 30 love serve. Swiatek misses long. Ghosty says, I honestly don't think Anisimova will carry that kind of social memory the way others have. Feels different from Zvereva somehow. Here's hoping. Swiatek serves here. Rybakina backhand return. She's thrusted that up the middle and it's gone long. And now Rybakina looking more and more frustrated after every miss, which the misses are coming quicker than they were. And it's 40 love. Ghosty also asks, if Iga wins, does that make her the favorite for the U.S. Open? They actually just flashed up the odds makers' current U.S. Open odds. I would just say, for me, I think you'd have to go either Iga or Coco. Here's Swiatek going out wide. Rybakina makes the return cross-court. Swiatek ranges to it. Cross-court backhand of her own. And again, Rybakina just shoveling away at that backhand, pitchforks it long. And Swiatek holds for a 4-1 lead now in this second set. Cincy is the maddest looking center court. I do like the colors. I like the contrasting blues. Ghosty says, here's my Azarenka question in the style of Nerlin. Matthew, would you say Vika is the most likely of that era in the WTA to make you smile after a match? No, the one most likely to make me smile in that era was Maria Sharapova, but we've been over this. We've been over that many a times. Oh, dear. So, interesting that we bring up odds for the U.S. Open, because if we're just talking, I'm not talking about Vegas's odds. If we're just talking here, I know there's going to be a lot of people that say Aryna Sabalenka should be the favorite. But are we getting to the point now? Aryna Sabalenka, I'm not trying to sit here and say she's done nothing. She's obviously been a very successful player these last handful of years. She's won a couple of Australian Opens, and she's been to a U.S. Open final, and she won the U.S. Open last year, and she went to the French final this year. But are we starting to think, can we calm down on making Sabalenka the final at every tournament now? Because, I don't know, I just did not see her losing to Anisimova at Wimbledon, and I did not see her losing that French final to Coco and U.S. Open final to Coco. There's part of me now that's starting to think that she's played in too many big matches to be consistently losing as many big matches as she is. As we get into a rally here on the Rybakina serve, and Rybakina's into the net with the backhand, and it's love 15. Oh, there's a comment up on the screen, by the way. Matt has been tremendous so far. Thank you. Thank you for the compliment. I appreciate the compliment. I've never been good at taking compliments. Let's move on quickly. Rybakina serves. Backhand return Swiatek. Up the line by Rybakina. Directed into the middle of the court by Swiatek. Lengthy rally here until it's ended by a forehand into the net from Rybakina. Ghosty says no problem. Peyton Stearns is winning the U.S. Open anyway. You could get good odds on that, I bet. You could get really good payback on that if she does. Love 30 here. Rybakina really starting to come apart at the seams. Serves out wide. Swiatek thumps the return, and then the backhand lollipopped long from Rybakina, and now Swiatek has love 40. And we should probably finish up our conversations here, because I think the finish line is right in front of us, because Swiatek is closing this out in very eager fashion. Rybakina makes that serve. Swiatek with the return on Rybakina with a big forehand that went off the let cord. It awkwardly has fallen over on Iga's side of the net. Swiatek racing to it is unable to tap it back across the net. And a break point saved by Rybakina there. 15-40. Yes, still putting herself in conversation. Yes, I am. Thank you, Jake. Rybakina with a serve out wide, and it's an ace. Saves a couple of break points. Musetti and Sonego in doubles. U.S. Open mixed doubles, by the way, been taking a lot of storylines, and mixed doubles is going to be a heck of a show to watch. See how that goes. as Rybakina serves out wide and misses there. Jake says we want another hour. Rybakina, you're going to have to talk to Elena Rybakina there. Sorry, I can't control that. She saved 2 break points, looking to save another. Serves here to the back end of Swiatek. Big backhand there by Rybakina. Up the middle goes Swiatek. Forehand cross court, good shape to that Rybakina. Swiatek defends it back, letting it drop Rybakina. Big forehand, she comes to the net. Swiatek attempts a pass, and it just lands wide from Swiatek. Thought she may have found a sliver of space to drop that into, but no. Rybakina's recovered with 3 break points saved. It's deuce now. Ghosty says Rybakina looks crestfallen. That's a $5 word from you, Ghosty. Good vocabulary out of you. The diction flowing from the fingertips of Ghosty. Rybakina serves. Backhand return from Swiatek, and that's been lunged at and hit long. Rybakina with 4 points in a row here. Game point now for Rybakina as she tries to stay within arm's distance. Serves here into the net. Second serve now at the far end. Toss up. Serve is down. But it's a let. Had a lot more of those here in the second than we had in the first. We go again. Puts that one down with great ferocity. Swiatek makes the return. Rybakina comes to the net, hits a backhand right to Swiatek. Rally continues. Rybakina at the net has to reach up into the sky to hit an overhead that Swiatek is unable to muscle back in play. And Rybakina is able to hold for 4-2. Wow. Entertaining ending to that game. That'd be a bit annoying for Iga to have love 40 there and not convert any of the break points. And now she sits still at 4-2. Jake says he just bought a Ralph Lauren cardigan. The older women will find him irresistible. And yes, thank you, Ghosty. I am glad that's what you tell the ladies. Very good, Ghosty. Swiatek serves. Backhand return, Rybakina. Swiatek, big backhand lunged up the middle. Rybakina able to direct it back, and then into the net goes Swiatek. Are we still in line for another twist or another turn before we're done? Rybakina has been the queen of comebacks here in the Queen City, with 3 wins in this tournament after losing the first set. Love 15 serves. Swiatek puts it in. Rybakina whacks the return. It's a forehand winner. That's a clean return winner from Rybakina. And now here we are at love 30. Sure, Jasmine Paulini and Veronika Kudermetova would not like another hour of this match. Swiatek at love 30 now. Run of points here from Rybakina. Swiatek serve out wide. Rybakina has whipped the return into the net. 15-30. Now we're getting. Now it's becoming a circus in the comments now. You know. Here's Swiatek serving, misses long. Jake says you can always count on one inappropriate ghosty comment per stream. Yeah, there's always one. But we appreciate the entertainment. Swiatek's second serve. It's there to the back end of Rybakina, and she has cracked that return cross court, and it is a winner. Rybakina with her second return winner of this game, and now, well, we were waiting for maybe another twist or another turn, and maybe we have one here. Break points for Rybakina to improbably get back on serve. Two break points. Swiatek serves into the net. Chance to attack a second serve on this break point now for Rybakina at the far end. Swiatek up the tee, puts it in, backhand return Rybakina. Swiatek has to backpedal to hit the forehand. We're into a very important rally, pivotal point in this match, and Rybakina has misfired with a forehand miss. Swiatek saves one break point. She has another one to do so. It's 30-40. Ghosty says the last time Matthew whipped out his diction on a talking tennis stream, John had to send an apology letter to the FCC. Thank you very much. Oh boy, we are flying right along, aren't we now? Another break point for Swiatek to save, 30-40. Into the net goes the first serve. We have to... Okay, well, we'll talk about what the FCC is here in a moment. Second serve, Swiatek hesitates before putting the ball toss up. Now she does. Second serve is down. Big return, Rybakina. Up the middle, Swiatek. Cross-court, Rybakina. Swiatek defends it back, and it's butter-knifed into the net by the Rybakina backhand, and it's deuce. Two break points saved by Swiatek when she really needed it. Rybakina has played a tremendous return game here, really going for broke on a lot of these returns, but still Iga has scrapped it back to deuce from 15-40. First serve missed into the mesh from Swiatek. Second serve is put in. Rybakina attacks it. Swiatek digs it out. Big forehand again, Rybakina. Swiatek defends it back. Another forehand lashed up the line by Rybakina. She is pelting this ball, but the backhand is missed long from Rybakina. And Swiatek has a game point. What a Houdini act this would be from Swiatek to get out of this game. Still with the break in hand. Now Iga Swiatek for 5-2. All kinds of chances to get here. Now she's trying again. Serves and misses up the middle. Just shy of the hour and a half mark of this semifinal. Here goes Iga. Bouncing of the ball 3-4 times. Toss up, serve down. Rybakina, that return is missed wildly. Backhand up the line, misses wide. And Swiatek gets herself out of a very, very tricky situation and holds for a 5-2 lead in this second set. And now Rybakina will serve to stay in the match here. Paulini and Kudermetova to come in the second semifinal. I assume, someone can correct me if I'm wrong, and by someone I likely mean John, I assume there will be a stream with someone on the channel for that match. And of course for the finals tomorrow. Nothing like it. Huge tournament. Let's play the finals on Monday. Jake says Paulini in 3 is what he's going with there against Kudermetova. Oh, okay. Very good. Don't think we'll have a stream hoping for one for Sinner and Alcaraz. It's just, again, you got Sinner and Alcaraz. It's the best rivalry in the sport right now. They're playing in a 1,000 event final, and there's going to be a lot of people that can't see it because it is on a Monday. Staggering decision. Just staggering. All right, here is Elena Rybakina now. Serving to stay in this match. 2-5 down in the second. Serves. Swiatek makes the return, and Rybakina misfires. It's a forehand miss. She looked really, really good in the first half to 75% of that first set, and then Swiatek turned it around, and Rybakina, her level has fallen off, and she hasn't been able to get it back to where it was. Serves here. Swiatek lines up the backhand return. Forehand loops back Rybakina. Big forehand there from Swiatek. Sharply struck, but she misses it long. And we're at 15 all. Trying desperately to stay in the match is Rybakina, who serves here and misses by quite a margin. Here comes the second serve. That's put in out wide. Swiatek lashes the return back. Now she races side to side to hit a backhand. Drop shot Rybakina. It hangs up there. Plenty of time for Swiatek to get to it. And bombs away with a forehand winner cross court, and it's 15-30. No problem at all for Swiatek to get to that Rybakina drop shot. I think she's hit 3 drop shots all match, Rybakina. One was a perfect drop shot. The other 2, Swiatek has gobbled up. 15-30. Rybakina serves out wide, misses. Jake is heading out. Great to hear from you again, Jake, as always. Rybakina serve out wide. Swiatek loops the return back. That's a moon ball from Rybakina's forehand, and that drops long, and now Iga Swiatek has a couple of match points. Neither of these two have ever made the final here in Cincinnati. Iga Swiatek has the ticket to the Cincy final right in front of her. All she has to do is grab it with both hands. She'll have to wait a little bit longer, however, as Rybakina has gone anchors away with an ace up the middle. 30-40, another match point coming for Swiatek. Serve out wide by Rybakina. Swiatek makes the return. Rybakina with a forehand that Swiatek loops back, and it is long, and it is deuce. So 2 match points stiff-armed away by Rybakina. Rybakina serves here to the forehand of Swiatek. Deep return, just a bit too deep. She's missed it. Wow. And then going out of frustration and slapping that ball away was Swiatek. Frustrated with herself that she hasn't finished this out. Now advantage Rybakina, who serves into the net. Trying to keep this match going as long as it possibly can. Second serve is into the Swiatek backhand. Forehand by Rybakina. Cross court goes Swiatek. Steered wide by Rybakina. Forehand error there. And we're at deuce. Yes, to the point that we've been, to the point of the comments, by the way, it does seem as if The men's final, Alcaraz and Sinner, is tomorrow at 3. The women's final is at 6. Have you ever seen such ridiculous timing? Goodness gracious. Rybakina serves up the middle and misses. I do get that that's, 8 o'clock in England, 9 o'clock in most of Europe. But goodness gracious, here's Rybakina with a serve. Swiatek hooks the return back. Short ball from Rybakina. Forehand Swiatek. Rybakina keeps it going. And then Swiatek with a backhand miss. So it looks like it is a 3 o'clock men's final and a 6 o'clock women's final tomorrow, which is just very strange indeed. Rybakina game point and an ace up the tee. Keeps herself alive. Swiatek will have a chance to serve for a spot in the final after having a couple of match points pushed away there by Rybakina. Now Swiatek will serve for it at 5-3. Let's see, for the match, unforced errors. Let me see if I can find them here. Scrolling through as quickly as I can for you here, Ghosty. And apparently that is not a stat that this app wants to give. Hold on. Swiatek serving out wide. Rybakina hooks the return back. Looped back by Swiatek. A moon ball pitchforked into the sky from Rybakina. Swiatek backpedals and then hits the worst shot she's hit in ages. She's hit that 5 miles long. Love 15. That was a very strange point. Still just the one break that separates these two. Swiatek serves. Goes too deep on the first. Past the hour and a half mark of this match. Iga Swiatek was on the brink of losing the first set. Rybakina was serving for it. Swiatek got the break, and she's been in control ever since. Rybakina makes the return. Swiatek, weak shot up the middle. Rybakina pounces on it and hits a forehand winner. Swiatek caught flat-footed there a couple of times in that point, and it's love 30. And would you believe that Rybakina could be in a position to get back on serve here? Should be incredibly impressive. Swiatek serves, goes big and misses into the net. Do not seem to be able to find an unforced error count. I do apologize. Second serve here from Swiatek at love 30. She lets the ball toss drop. We'll go again. Now the serve to the backhand of Rybakina. Off backhand by Swiatek. It's pitchforked back by Rybakina here. On they continue to go in this rally, and Swiatek pounces on a forehand cross court. That's a winner. It's 15-30. Carlos may concede if it means he can play with Emma in New York City. Very good. Oh, boy. Yeah, it is hot. Mid to upper 80s as Swiatek serves. Rybakina makes the return. Rybakina going big with the forehands. Cross-court Swiatek. Up the line Rybakina. Swiatek gets back to it. Rybakina cross-court backhand. Swiatek bombs away with a backhand winner for 30-all. She looked out of that point a couple of times. Swiatek chiseling away at the Rybakina backhand, and Swiatek gets a tremendous winner there. 30-all. Here's Swiatek at the far end, 2 points away. Serve out wide. Rybakina whips the return. Backhand up the middle. Swiatek steered back cross court. Rybakina directed deep by Swiatek. Loops a forehand to the forehand of Rybakina, which is into the net. And here comes a third chance to wrap this up for Iga Swiatek. Can Iga Swiatek finish it this time? Wipes the brow one more time as here she goes. Toss up, serve down. Rybakina's forehand return has missed the baseline. It's long. And Iga is in to the Cincinnati final. The first time that she's made the final here in Cincinnati. She outlasts Elena Rybakina 7-5 and 6-3. And with a clenched fist, Iga Swiatek muscles her way into the final, where she'll definitely get a much different experience and a very different player across the net from her in either Veronika Kudermetova or Jasmine Paolini. Elena Rybakina with a third straight semifinal appearance, a third straight semifinal loss, unfortunately, for Rybakina, who will now head to New York in the U.S. Open, trying to get back on track. So it's Swiatek who makes it into the final. Iga is in to the Queen City final tomorrow night at 6 o'clock against either Veronika Kudermetova or Jasmine Paolini. Entertaining start to the match, and again, you had Rybakina serving for the first set. Swiatek got a break and then was in control of the match from that point on. She won 5 straight games at one point from the end of the first to the start of the second. And outside of a couple of moments where Rybakina picked up her play to try to get back into it, it just never seemed as if Iga was going to lose control, even despite Rybakina's persistent pressure and how she has been able to come from behind multiple times in this tournament. Very interesting tournament from Rybakina. 3 times she dropped the first set, 3 times she came back to win. And then, of course, with a rather one-sided victory over Sabalenka in the quarters. But Iga Swiatek, too much for her to overcome here today. So we'll see what Rybakina's U.S. Open will look like. We'll see what Swiatek's U.S. Open will look like. But before she gets to New York, she's got a major battle in front of her tomorrow in the Cincinnati final. So, Sean, which sport is your favorite to commentate on? There are plenty. Hockey, football, tennis, racing. Those are certainly the 4 that immediately come to mind. Basketball is up there. I've had people ask this question to me before, and I can't give a straight answer because I enjoy doing them all. I apologize. That's not a good answer, I know, but I can't give a straight answer to that. It's impossible. I enjoy doing all the sports that I do. So, and we're about to get into the busy sports season. Football's right around the corner, and before you know it, basketball and hockey will be here. So, all right. So it is Iga Swiatek with the win. Her 4th win of 2025 over Elena Rybakina. Big thanks to John and everyone here who allows me to come on, invites me on. Always appreciate having the opportunity to come on, and always appreciate interacting with you folks in the comments section. We have talked at great length today about the scheduling of these finals tomorrow. It's just ridiculous to have 1,000 finals on Monday, and the men's final is at 3. It's ridiculous. So wherever you are, do hope that you are able to take in the finals tomorrow and take in the semifinal coming up between Paulini and Kudermetova. But that is it for us for now from the Queen City of Cincinnati, where Iga Swiatek is into the final for the first time. Straight set win over Elena Rybakina. So long, and be sure to like and subscribe. Great channel, so stay tuned into it. So long.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.